If this winter weather has your vehicle moaning and groaning or popping and banging, then maybe you need to come see us at Dave Hahler Automotive on East Highway 12 in Webster. We're a Chevrolet dealer. We have a really good selection of late model pre-owned vehicles on our lot, along with some really neat heavy-duty Silverados. So come see us, Dave Hahler Automotive, East Highway 12 in Webster, or view all of our inventory online at HahlerAuto.com.
Good morning, I'm Steve Jurens with your live Northeast Radio SD News for Thursday, February 12th, 2026. Your news this hour is brought to you by Hahler Automotive in Webster, South Dakota. Cruise through brand new, certified used, and premium classic vehicles online at HahlerAuto.com. World-class service, hometown friendliness. U.S. Senate Majority Leader John Thune addressed the Senate floor on Tuesday to highlight new tax benefits available as the 2026 tax season begins under the Working Families Tax Cuts. Millions of households are expected to see larger refunds this spring for the 2025 tax year. A central pillar of the law is the permanent expansion of the child tax credit to $2,200 per child, now indexed for inflation. The legislation also introduces Trump accounts, tax-advantaged investment accounts for newborns that include an initial $1,000 government contribution. Furthermore, service and emergency workers can now benefit from new deductions on tips and overtime pay. Tipped professionals can deduct up to $25,000 in income, while workers like nurses and firefighters may deduct up to $12,500 of their overtime premium. South Dakota has become the first state in the nation to remove firearm suppressors from the list of controlled weapons. Governor Larry Rhoden signed Senate Bill 2 into law on Tuesday at a ceremony held at Silencer Central. While federal regulations still apply, state officials argued that state-level oversight served no public safety purpose and created unnecessary restrictions. Proponents of the bill, including Representative Drew Peterson and Senator Casey Crabtree, emphasized that the suppressors should be treated as hearing protection rather than as dangerous weapons. Attorney General Marty Jackley called the move a common-sense update that removes an extra layer of government. The state's leadership hopes this move will encourage similar deregulation efforts at the national level. A debate over unplugging students in the classroom has gained traction at the state capitol as Senate Bill 198 moves to the Senate floor. Sponsored by Senate Pro Tem Chris Carr, the bill proposes a statewide bell-to-bell restriction on student cell phone use during the school day. Carr argues that the devices harm academic performance, citing declining reading proficiency scores from 2024. However, the proposal faces strong opposition from the South Dakota Department of Education. Secretary Joe Graves argues that while phones create problems, the decision to eliminate them should be made by local educators rather than through a state mandate. The Senate Education Committee sent the bill to the full floor without recommendation following a 5-2 vote. In a narrow 8-7 vote, the House Education Committee has advanced a controversial bill that would prohibit public school districts from using resources to support teachers as unions. House Bill 1217, sponsored by Representative John Hughes, aims to end long-standing practices such as automatic payroll deductions for union dues. Hughes argued that schools should remain neutral and not function as a collection arm for unions at the taxpayer's expense. The bill also seeks to close loopholes that allow districts to raise salaries specifically to offset union dues. Opponents, including Representative Roger DeGroot, challenged the bill as an unnecessary intrusion into local control, noting that the administrative cost for payroll deductions is minimal. The South Dakota Department of Health has released its latest influenza summary, showing that the state is currently trending slightly below the historical average. As of February 11th, there have been 10,795 confirmed cases, 609 hospitalizations, and 14 deaths recorded for the current season. This is a notable decrease from the 2024-25 season, which saw over 21,000 cases and 65 deaths. While the peak week for the season hasn't been officially determined, historical data shows that flu activity in South Dakota typically reaches its highest point during the first week of February. Health officials remind the public that it is not too late to receive vaccination or treatment, and that antiviral medications remain available for those at high-risk complications. In a recent interview, representative from Codington Connects and SDSU Extension discussed the vital role of early childhood education in Watertown. Codington Connects, now a 501c3 nonprofit, working with over 45 partners to address child care capacity and its impact on the local economy. The organization is currently conducting a child care survey through February 20th to better understand community needs. To support these efforts, a murder mystery dinner theater fundraiser will be held at Second Street Station on February 19th through the 21st. Tickets are $40 and include a 3-course meal. Looking ahead, the community can expect the Summer Splash event downtown Watertown on May 28th. Your news this hour was brought to you by Hahler Automotive in Webster, South Dakota. Cruise through brand new, certified used, and premium classic vehicles online at HahlerAuto.com. World-class service, hometown friendliness. Read full in-depth stories online at NortheastRadioSD.com. If you enjoy our daily news recap podcast and live interview uploads, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter delivered straight to your inbox every morning at 6 a.m. And with today's local and state news from Northeast Radio SD studios in Watertown, South Dakota,